Welcome back to the Midweek Update. Hey Melfa, we're here in week 11 of the coronavirus shutdown. As we begin to get closer to the end of the school year, let's take a look at a special senior award and the impact of the B&B seniors. This and more as we take a look at what's going on this week on Midweek Update. I'm Haley Hepworth. And I'm Riley Freed, and welcome back to the Midweek Update, the B&B show that brings you closer to the people and places in and around the Mepham community. The senior awards are coming up soon, and although the seniors can't all be together for them this year, there are still some special awards that they have earned. One of these awards is honoring a former Mepham student named Alex Longo. B&B's Lorrie DellaCroce got an inside look at the award.
In 2005, Mepham had just graduated one of its most talented students, someone who was always involved in the arts, and especially the drama program. After, he continued on his career of acting for the next 13 years. Known as an incredible actor, he took part in many productions. He could be anything. He could play any part he wanted. In February 2018, the world lost a truly gifted man, Alex Longo. Soon after he had passed, his close cousin Ashley wanted to bring light to his life and the passions he had. She put together a yearly fundraiser to collect money for one dedicated drama student to receive an award and a scholarship for their future lives in the arts.
I wanted just to do something. There was, losing someone so young was really hard for me and my family, and for us, we needed some kind of light to remember him and honor him, and I felt like this was the best way to do it because he absolutely loved everything he did with the arts, and he was very, very close with Mr. Stein and very close to Mr. Safina. So I felt like this was the best way to do that, and it's something like my family can be a part of, and we do a fundraiser every year, so that's a big event for me and my family, and it's just a nice way to continue his memory.
Alex's combination of skills and his love for the arts allowed him to flourish creatively. His family loved the spark he had and created a way to continue his fire here on Earth.
So about 3 years ago, I started the Alex Encore Scholarship, and the whole idea was to offer a scholarship to students that were in the drama program, just like Alex was when he was in high school, and just to give them that opportunity for a scholarship for hopefully that if they are continuing on with their arts, whether it's drama or chamber choir, whatever it is, just to give them that opportunity and continue to spread the positivity, because Alex was huge into the arts, and I think that to continue to spread his message through music and through the arts, I think would just really embody everything that he is.
While commemorating Alex at the same time, Ashley and her family work on different ways to raise money to be able to provide the scholarship.
This is actually one of the shirts from it. It's Alex's artwork, and it says, "Find me in the woods and know that I miss you," which is really ironic because he drew that when he was still here. But we just kind of get everyone together. Actually, last year we had our award winner at the event, which was awesome because my family got to see the person that was actually awarded this. And we just do baskets. We get everything is donated. So all the baskets are donated. So we had a lot of local vendors just donate. Bellmore Bagel Cafe, Bellmore Beverage and Liquor, they donated all the waters and beverages, and we do baskets, and it's been huge. We do be selling the t-shirts. Last year we also put his artwork on a magnet and we sold those. So it's a really, as sad as of course Alex's passing is, it's a really nice day to all be together.
I think that they're doing an amazing thing, and I'm so happy that they're keeping his legacy alive at Mepham. I actually got to go to the barbecue that they have at Wantagh Park every year to raise money for the scholarship and award, and it was really a great day. His whole family was there, and they were playing music because Alex really was such a musical guy, and it was just a really incredible, intimate day with his family, and it was nice to see them all and to thank them for this honor.
Paulina was the first of many to have the honor of being chosen for her dedication and passion that reflects as well as represents Alex's when he too was a member of the arts.
It was incredible actually, because I heard his family members talking at the podium about it, and I was like, oh my goodness, the person who wins this is crazy, this is such a great award, and it's such a great reason for an award. And then when I heard my name, I was shocked, but I was so happy at the same time. I think it was important to me because I dedicated so much time at MEPM to the arts and to drama, and to have an award that just recognized that, and to win something that was dedicated to, making valuable contributions to the arts at MEPM, it was really special, and it meant a lot to me.
Alex's passion will never be forgotten, and his legacy will live on through the talented students of MEPM High School for years to come. For B&B, I'm Lorrie DellaCroce.
Thanks, Lorrie. There are a lot of great awards to recognize the seniors. Yeah, and some of the most influential seniors have been the ones right here at B&B. They've been really important to keep us on the air throughout the shutdown. Here's B&B's Luke Melfa with a closer look at their impact on the other B&B students and our content over the last few months.
When the students of Bellmore-Merrick Broadcasting learned on March 14th that we would be out of school for a few days, we took it as a challenge.
I thought that if we were going to close, it would be at a week at the maximum. So I thought it would be fun to record one of our midweek update shows while we weren't in school. So I talked to a couple of my friends about the idea.
At the time, we only thought that we would miss a week.
I thought we would be able to produce an episode or two, but without our equipment, I didn't think it would last very long.
But last it did. Now in week 9 of the stay-at-home order, the broadcasting program at MEPM High School in Bellmore on Long Island has not only kept our 2 weekly shows on the air, we've also expanded to daily coverage, 6 PSAs, and we've even produced 2 live game shows featuring contestants from across our district. How did we do it?
We had weekly meetings on Zoom led by some of the seniors. We were really lucky to have such a great senior leadership. They really helped guide us through the process.
The class of 2020 were the original students in the program entering as freshmen, and they have been the tip of the spear ever since. Innovation, resilience, and leadership is nothing new to them. Each week, the students of B&B hold a weekly Zoom call led by senior Casey Farr, the program's news director.
News has been something B&B has always done. Casey has been our news director since I entered the program, so we were used to developing stories with him. Since being locked out of school, he has also taken over doing our interviews, like when he interviewed our superintendent.
Many of the students, including graphics director senior Kyle Santagato, had access to editing and design software from home, so the look of our shows never changed.
Kyle is just such a talented artist that it doesn't really matter where he works. The rest of us have just been trying to keep up with them.
One of the shining stars of the stay-at-home period has been Lorrie DellaCroce, a 3-sport athlete whose time is normally divided between broadcasting and sports.
I had no idea how talented Lorrie was. She's always been a good teammate, but now without being able to play sports, she has a lot more time to devote to broadcasting, and we're so lucky that she does.
Even before coronavirus, B&B sports director Rocco Law was one of the shining examples of B&B as the first student to produce his own show on the channel, something he did as a sophomore.
Rocco was just taking his work to the next level. His profile of one of our alumni after they got drafted into the NFL was just amazing. And his tribute to the spring athletes after the season was canceled literally brought tears to people's eyes.
There may be no sports going on in the stadiums or the fields, but there is still cheering and there is still applause.
Since March 14th, B&B has produced 90 broadcasts, public service announcements, and live events. At a time when schools, leagues, and even professional broadcasting companies have been shutting down, the students of B&B have followed the lead of the resilient and innovative class of 2020, as they've not only stayed on the air, but they've become the voice of their community. As we say goodbye to the class of 2020, the future of our program looks bright because of the path they lit for us.
Thanks, Luke. It'll be sad to see the seniors go in a few weeks. Definitely, but the seniors in B&B have taught us a lot. Next year will be an even better one for us because of them. But first, we have to finish the year and get through this shutdown. Many places have been taking steps towards reopening. B&B's Emily Rosenberg researched what reopening has looked like so far and what the future will bring.
With Long Island finally to begin phasing out of the coronavirus shutdown today, the question of states reopening has naturally been coming up. However, for MEPM graduate Dr. Samantha Diaz, This change came earlier than expected in Georgia on April 24th.
And basically, Georgia was pretty much kind of like the rest of the country, practicing social distancing, self-quarantining. Most of the non-essential workers were not going to work, and people were working from home for the most part. And obviously, medical professionals and other essential workers were going to work, as they needed to.
This sudden reopening came at a shock for Dr. Diaz, who has some concerns on the impact on the healthcare system.
I'm a healthcare worker, so I think my main concern is we were seeing a flattening in the number of cases. Now, once things are reopened, that's all going to change. And so, in working in the hospitals and seeing how sick these patients are, I could see the numbers going up, especially early on in this crisis. And it would reach a point even at times where, there were so many patients in the intensive care units that we had to expand the intensive care units to other areas of the hospital because it wasn't even enough room to take care of so many critically ill patients. And then, if the cases do go up significantly, we were managing with the numbers that we had. The cases can reach such a high point where you exceed the hospital's ability to take care for these people. So, we were able to expand the ICUs, but at some point there may not be enough ventilators, different kinds of machines. So I'm actually a kidney specialist who deals with dialysis, and a lot of these patients, when they become very ill, end up needing dialysis. And I was actually faced with the situation that sometimes people potentially might not have a dialysis machine available to them.
Dr. Heather Butts, a health law professor at LIU, explained what these reopenings mean in terms of the law and for the surrounding states of these early reopeners.
So really, just like in Europe, where if one country does something that's different than another country, in this country, if one state does something different than another state, it's going to have a huge impact. So a good example is Georgia. Right? So Georgia has opened earlier than some other states, and we will see what that means. But one thing that we should keep an eye on is, do the infection rates in Georgia go up because their policy and their laws of opening up sooner than their surrounding neighbors are different? There's an interesting legal concept called an attractive nuisance. That's potentially what we're looking at if states open and their surrounding states don't. You have somebody in New Jersey who's sitting there and they've been in their house for 2 months, and then all of a sudden the Madison Square Garden opens. I mean, what is somebody in New Jersey going to do? They're going to rush over the border to go see, Billy Joel in concert. So that's a concern, is that neighboring states work together. And if they're going to open, they do it in a controlled, thoughtful manner.
Dr. Butts reasserts Dr. Diaz's worries that there is something to fear of reopening too early for healthcare workers as well.
The concern is that if you have states that open up and their hospitals are overwhelmed by patients, that this will basically tip the scale. And that's the reason why we keep talking about flattening the curve. The real reason we want to flatten the curve, well, obviously the real reason we want to flatten the curve is because we don't want people to get sick. But a secondary reason, but it's not so secondary, is that if we have a spike in cases, right? So if we have people who end up coming to the hospital with COVID-19, and they come to the hospital in droves and they're very ill, then it will overwhelm the hospital system. The hospital will not be able to function. And essentially, you will either have to turn people away, or you will have a scenario where the hospitals will be completely overloaded and people won't get the care that they need.
For both Dr. Butts and Dr. Diaz, they both maintain that the only thing to do now is to wait and see what will happen. For B&B, I'm Emily Rosenberg.
Thanks, Emily. Hopefully we can reopen soon and start off next year back in school while making sure we stay safe. Yeah, with only a few weeks left of online learning for this year, we have to be hopeful for the future. We can only hope the first midweek update of the year will come from MEPA. But for now, stay tuned to the B&B YouTube channel. There are still a few midweek updates and morning announcements episodes left this year, plus our daily reports and the St. Baldrick's event on June 5th at 7 p.m. That should be a fun event, even though we can't be there in person. Local restaurants like McBride's, Umberto's, and the Big Cheese food truck are offering specials on that night, with some of the proceeds going towards our cause. That's definitely so nice of them. Be sure to tune in that night to see B&B's own Rocco Law and Lorrie DellaCroce host the event, plus some other special event guests. I can't wait. Well, that's it for this week's Midweek Update. We'll be back next week with all new stories from around the BMCHSD to bring you inside the parts of the community we don't always get to see. Until then, I'm Haley Hepworth. And I'm Riley Frieda, and we'll see you next midweek.